In December 2003, former Tunisian ruler Zine El Abidine Ben Ali issued the decree number 75, known as the Counter-Terrorism Law. Now, 2 years after Ben Ali was overthrown by a popular uprising, activists have called for the revocation of the law and accused the government of turning a blind eye on its application against Salafists.
We're
going through a critical stage, and we have to avoid the confrontation with the Salafist movement because it could lead to a civil war. The national security is at stake, but the counter-terrorism law will not solve the problem. It is the heritage of the dictator. It should be revocated.
In recent months, lawmakers at the National Constituent Assembly have denounced what they perceive as injustice after the fall of the regime of Ben Ali.
We warned
the government about the terrorist threat and the violent attitude of Ansar al-Sharia. Now we are warning against the use of laws that Ben Ali imposed to crack down on opposition figures and the human rights activists. Those who committed crimes should be tried and not tortured. We cannot tolerate human rights abuses and injustice in the name of fighting terrorism.
In reaction to the public rejection of the counter-terrorism law, Human Rights and Transitional Justice Minister Samir Dilou held a press conference in Tunis to shed light on the position of the government.
The government is not at war with the Salafist movement. We are fighting terrorism and extremism to protect our citizens. Those who defy the state and take arms against officers and soldiers will be held to account.
The minister added that suspects and convicts should not be tortured and that fair trials were the responsibility of the authorities.
Fighting terrorism does not justify the use of violence during the interrogation of suspects or torture in detention centers. The counter-terrorism law is unconstitutional. It's difficult to respect human rights in this context, but our role is to ensure fair trials.
Many ministers and members from the National Constituent Assembly were political prisoners who suffered from the injustice of the judicial system and the violence of the police. The former victims of dictatorship are now in power. Yet giving justice or convicting people suspected of terrorism remains a difficult task after the revolution. Hundreds of Salafists from Ansar al-Sharia movement have been arrested on terrorism charges. The counter-terrorism law is a source of tension between activists and the government. Analysts say the balance between securing the country and respecting human rights is a challenge for the authorities in Tunisia. Adnen, Chaouachi, Press TV, Tunis.